Okay. So code scientists define a benchmark for assigning or creating a relational database design. So among from that, first rule is a information rule. Here information rule state that the data which is stored in a particular structure, that means in a table format, either it is the data or metadata, that means data related to the data, always it is stored in a tabular format or it is stored in a table structure. So this is the information rule. Then second one, guaranteed access rule. When we access a particular data from table, those data we can access through a particular primary key or attribute name along with the table name. There is no other way to access a particular data from particular table, like pointer or functions over there. So we can access through a attribute name, table name along with the keys. Those are defined, those are assigned to a particular table. Then third rule, systematic treatment of null values. We can assign the null constraint as well as null constraint. So when we assign the null constraint over any attribute, that means data is missing, data is not known to us, or data is not applicable. That means the null having a particular meaning while we are assigning a value to a particular that attribute. So that meaning is data is missing, data is not known to us, and data is not applicable. So this is a third rule. The next one, rule number 4, active online catalog. When we store a particular data, that overall database or data stored in a particular catalog or in a particular structure, so while storing that structure, it maintain one catalog, that catalog in a computer language which is known as a data dictionary. And again, that data dictionary information which is accessed through the particular user. So database administrator is whole and sole responsible for that. Okay, so this is a rule number 4. The next one, rule number 5, it is related to the languages. So if data is stored in a particular structure and we want to retrieve that information, then applicable to the DML language as well as the DDL language, then control language as well as the transaction language. Okay, so all types of an languages, those are defined for a database which is also applicable to that particular structure. So this is related to the rule number 5. Then rule number 6, when we create a view of particular database, when we create a view of a particular database, then the whole operations those are applicable on that view, it must relate to the original data. So view is nothing but virtual table of existing database. If we are going to apply any operation in that virtual table, then the data must be reflected in original database. So okay, so this is the rule number 8. Then rule number 6. Rule number 7 is uh, the any data or any data which is related to the RDBMS, which follows insert, update and delete rule. Okay, so when we retrieve any information, it must followed with some types of operations: insert, delete, update, then join operation is over there, then union, minus, intersections, all those operations followed by the RDBMS. Okay, so it is a rule number 7. Then rule number 8 and rule number 9, those are related to the physical data independence and logical data independence. Physical data independence, when your data is database physical structure is changed, then it will not impact to the application, as well as when the logical structure of a particular database at the backend is changed, then again it will not impact to the application. if we are going to change a physical structure, that means if we are add any rows as column, or remove any column from the database structure, then it will not impact to a particular application. If we are changing the logical structure, that means if we are going to assign the join operation, union operations for logical structured data to that RDBMS, then again it will not impact to a particular application. Then rule number 10, it is integrity independence, and rule number 11 is related to the distribution independence. So all the constraints those are applicable is nothing but integrity independence, distribution independence. It related to distributed database system, that means the owner or the handling user which will not known to where data is actually stored. It is at one location or it is at distributed locations. So distribution independence is there. And last rule number 12, it's related to the non-supervision rule. So it bypass the security as well as the integrity constraint. Low level records we can access easily. So all these rules, 12 rules are there. Those are related to the code rules. The most important part related to this, when we this question or this point related to the INSEM examination as well as ENSEM examination, question must ask on this topic, explain code rule or define code rules. So you have to define these 12 rules along with the explanation. So first of all, write down those are in general. Suppose we are going to construct any table, then how it would be. So that information is nothing but in general. So information stored in a table structure. The next one, information stored in a table structure. Next one, how it's stored at the back end as well as the at the front end level. So all these informations in general we can write down that. Okay, so it asks for 5 to 8 marks. If it is asked in an INSEM, it's related to the 5 marks. If it is asked in an ENSEM, it's related to the end mark, 8 marks. Okay, so if it is asked for 5 marks, then for just mention the rules and then explanation is needed. If it is asked for 8 marks, then explanation is needed for particular rules also. Okay, so this part which is already covered in a last session. Okay, then next we will see in today's session, when we design any relational model or when we design any relational database, then there are some features which state that your database design is a good one. So we can say that the features who state your database design is good along with quality. Okay, so that features we will discuss in a today's session. So relational database design, and just a second. Yes, Archita, is there any query? Okay, so relational database design requires that we find a good collection of relation schemas. So relational schema is nothing but design of particular relation, or here relation is nothing but table. So when we say that it is a good collection of schema is there, then that schema or that relation we can say that it is a good database or good RDBMS structure. Okay, so if it is a bad design, that means depends on the design structure, that means depends on the relational schema. Relational schema is nothing but design structure. Okay, in a DBMS language we can say that relational schema. So that relational schema is good, then but obvious your relational database model is good, along with the good features as well as the good quality. If that particular relational schema is bad one, then automatically the overall structure goes down. Okay, so a bad design, that means a bad relational schema may lead to a repetition of information, inability to represent a certain information. That means if particular relational schema or if a particular relational database, if that in a relational schema or that relational database, if it include the repetition of information or repetition of data, then we cannot say that it is a good one. Okay, so it must avoid the repetition of information. If that information is required with number of relations, then we have to maintain the link over there. Okay, that means we can maintain a relation in between the different relational schemas, but we can avoid the repetition of data, okay, or repetition of information. So a bad design may lead to the first upon repetition of information, and the next one, inability to represent certain information. If your database schema or relational schema which will not give a particular information or it fails to retrieve a particular information, okay, so then that schema is also called as a bad schema, or again it will goes down. Okay, so the any relational schema, that relational schema we can say that is a good one if there is no repetition of data, as well as if we want to retrieve a particular information, then it must give the desired output. Then and then we can say that that relational schema is a good one along with the good quality features. Okay, so relational database design requires a good relational schema, then and then that relational design database we call as a good one. If it, we can say that it is bad, when we can say that it is a bad, if there is a repetition of information, as well as if we want to retrieve that information, then it falls down. Okay, so then that relational schema we can say that it is a bad one. Okay, so when we construct any relational database design, then there are some design goals. Okay, so when we construct any table, relational schema means what here? Table. So when we construct any relational schema or relational design schema, then there are some goals. So among from that, first one, avoid redundant data. As I told earlier, when we say that the relational schema is a good one, if there is no repetition of data. In some cases, we require the data for more than one table. Okay, suppose there is a scenario. In that scenario, there are 4 or 5 tables, and among from that 4 and 5 tables, 2 or 3 tables require the same data, which is required for another relations. Okay, so that time we can say that we can maintain a link over there. Okay, we can maintain a link over there. So we can first design goal is we can avoid the redundant data. Okay, the next design goal related to the database, relational database, ensure that relationship among attributes are represented. When we assign any attributes, as I told earlier, if you remember, we can calculate the degree of a particular RDBMS, okay, degree and cardinality. So when we calculate that, then we can maintain the relationship between the attributes also, okay, along with the domain constraint and attribute constraint. Okay, so second design goal, ensure that the relationship among attribute present over there. And then third one, facilitate the checking of updates for violation of data integrity constraint. When we update a particular database content, if we are going to update a particular database content, then it must not violate the integrity constraint. So integrity constraint, it related to the data which is present at database. Okay. So if it's related to the data which is present at a database, then we cannot say that or at the time of an updations it will not fails down. Okay, so there are three design goals, those are related to the relational database. Okay, so suppose here, for example, there are two relations, that suppose there are two tables. Okay, so consider the following database schema. Consider following database schema. Just a second. Consider following relational schema. In that, first relation is a second class. Okay, second class. In that there are three attributes. First one, section ID, building, and then next one, the room number. Okay, so in a first relation class there are three attributes: ID, building, and then next one, the room number. Okay, and then another relation section. In another relation section, that means in another table section, there are again four attributes. First one, course ID, section ID, semester, and then next one, the year. Okay, so if you observe this two table, or if you observe this two relation, there is a repetition of data. Okay, the data which is stored related to the class for section ID, same data which is stored for a section table also. Okay, so if there is no constraint over there, I repeat, if there is no constraint over there, then we can combine these two tables into the one relation. Okay, or we can combine these two relation into the one relation as section, which define course ID, section ID, semester, year, building, and then next one, the room number. So instead of two separate relation, we can maintain one relation along with all attributes, so that we can avoid the data repetition. Okay, so when we combine that both relation into the one, if there is a no constraint, okay, if those are independent, then we can combine it. If those are correlates with each other, that means suppose for example there is an for bank database. Okay, for bank database there is first is a home loan, and then next one, the personal loan. Okay, so home loan database there, personal loan database is there, and if we are going to combine that database along with the person database, then there is a miss there there is no guarantee related to the data loss. Okay, so that case we cannot combine the relation. So if there is no constraint, then we can combine both relations into the one for avoiding the data repetition. Okay, so likewise, in this example there are two relations, and among from that two relations, section ID is common, so data repetition chances are there. So we can combine two relations into the one relation. That means with two tables we can combine into the one. So if we combine into the one, then there is no chance of repetition of data. Okay, so this is an example related to the points those are discussed. The next one, the key points related to the good database design. Okay, so the key points related to the good database design. So first one, it reflects the real world structure of the problem. If we are going to construct any database design, or if we are going to construct any relational schema, Suppose, for example, I want to construct a relational schema for TE computer class. If it is related to the TE computer class, then the attributes, those are matching over there. Those are real world data or real world which map to the TE class. Okay, that means I will collect the student information as well as the academic information. In that academic, I will collect subjects along with faculty's data. For student, I will collect the personal information along with the academic records also of particular student. So it is a real world structure. So when we construct any database design, so it reflects to the real world structure of the problem. Okay, so this is a good database design key point. The next one, the it can represent all expected data over time. It can represent all the expected data. If we want to suppose retrieve the information, then that retrieved information must satisfy the goal of a problem statement. Okay, suppose I want to retrieve the information from TE class, only girl student I want to retrieve that information, so the output result is matched with the expected result. Okay, so this is a second point. The next one, avoid redundant storage of a data items, which is already discussed. The good database design must avoid the redundant storage of a data items. The next one, provide efficient access to a particular data. We can easily access a particular data along with the, again, first one table name, then attribute name, and then next one the key values. Okay, so along with these 3 points we can access a particular data efficiently. Then support the maintenance of a data integrity over time. If we want to change a particular structure of database design, then it also must be satisfied. That means suppose for TE class, firstly data structure contains only 3 columns: roll number, name, and date of birth. But now I want to also add the information related to the academic record also. That means what is the result of first year, what is the result of second year, what is the result of third year also. Okay, so that type of an maintenance along with the structure as well as data. Okay, which can be maintained through a good database design. For example, suppose the data which is stored at a particular TE class, which is already stored, but one of the student changed their mobile number, so that can again reflected to a particular database also. So this is the maintenance activity which can carried out for a good database design. The next one, clean, consistent, and easy to understand. The data which is stored in a tabular format, it is clean, consistent, and easy to understand. That means the data which is stored in a particular structure which can be understood by the any user. Okay, any user means what? It may be database user, it may be database administrator, sophisticated user, simple user. Okay, so it must be a clean, consistent, and easy to understand. So all these key points related to the why your database design is a good. Okay, and how we can say that the database design is in good feature with along with the quality. The next one, when we maintain a relational model, okay, all these the concepts, good database design along with this those points design goals, those are in general. Okay, so when we construct any database design or relational model, then which points to be considered in general related to the structure. Okay, as well as the how access data and uh, how maintain that data. The points, those are in general points, those are discussed related to the good database. The next point, those are related to the while creating a relational, then the key points related to the creating a data into that particular database. Okay, so first one, all data are represented in a table format, but obviously it is a relational database model. So all data must be present at a particular structure. That structure is in table format. Okay. So the next one, tables are combination of rows and columns. Tables are combination of rows and columns. Rows are unordered. First of all, when we insert a data into a particular tables, then that time the rows are in a unsorted order. Okay, we cannot say that the data which is arranged in a sorted order manner. The data which is in the came, so that sequence the data which is stored at a particular database itself. Then next, proper relationship between the attributes, those are maintained. Then no duplicate rows for particular table which is stored. Each table has a primary key. Here primary key, that means uniquely identified attribute over there. That means each table consists of a primary key for good database design. Okay. The next, most primary key are in single column. That means uh, for particular relational database, no doubt, for one table only one primary key is exists. If we want to assign another primary key, that will act as either foreign key or candidate key over there. Then next, the next point which is mentioned over there, when we assign a next unique key among from the same table, then we can assign it the foreign key. So all these, those are related to the key features for relational database design. So all these points, those are discussed. Why we are discussing? We have to build a good relational database along with quality. So all these points, those are considered while creating any structure in a RDBMS or relational database management system. Okay.